Good morning. Monday, July 11, 2016, regularly scheduled Commissioners' Court's call to order. We'll start with the invocation followed by the pledge. Commissioner Smith, please.
Y'all bow, please. Father God, we just come to you today and we ask for your guidance and your help with this country and this division that's been going through this last week. We pray for a peace for Dallas and just all the family of those that are involved. Father, be with us today as we, this court members go to court and just watch over all the decisions we make and make them in your good in your name. Father, we just ask for your protection of our first responders and the people overseas that are making it able for us to come to court like this today. In precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
And if you turn off your pagers and cell phones, except for emergency personnel, please, and law enforcement. Item 3, discuss take action on court minutes from June 27th and July 5th, 2016. They're in your packet.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 4, discuss take action on additional funding for Child Protection Court. Judge Chavez, you've had just a little increase in your court cases.
Unfortunately, Judge.
Good morning.
Judge Bradford, honorable members of the Commissioners' Court, thank you for setting us first so that we may return to our hearings. Unfortunately, the cases in Midland County continue to go up. I discussed this matter with Judge Dean Rucker, who is my boss, and he does approve of the requests which we are making today. Right now, we have 112 cases pending in Midland County. Not too long ago, we used to have 70 to 80 cases pending, and we are signing new cases every week for Midland County. As you are aware, our appointment of attorneys is mandatory. The legislature has mandated appointment for the children, the parents, if they are indigent. We have instituted a new policy in which initially the court appoints attorneys for the parents temporarily. They're appointed as a temporary attorney ad litem. They are served with that temporary order along with a second order in which they are required to bring with them an affidavit of indigency and the financial information statement. And then at the first hearing, the court addresses first, before we do anything else, the issue of indigence of the parents to see whether they are entitled to court-appointed counsel. In the past, in this fiscal year, I remember one instance in which a parent was not indigent. Maybe there were 2, but we can have 3, 4, 5 attorneys in the case. If we have to appoint for the children, for the parents, and we could have 2, 3, or 4 fathers, and we're, in most cases, are not able to appoint the same attorneys for the, 2 or more parents because of potential conflict of interest. And as you are well aware, the legislature has, in its wisdom, saddled the counties with these expenses. But our appointment of the attorneys is mandatory. It is not discretionary. Parents whose rights have been terminated also have the right to appeal to the Court of Appeals. They have the right to a free transcript, and their attorneys are also provided by the county to file the appeal to the Court of Appeals. Recently, the Texas Supreme Court issued a new ruling in which the attorneys now have an additional duty that if the parent wants to appeal and file a review to the Texas Supreme Court, The attorneys are mandated to do that. Obviously, the county has to pay for that expense. I had an opinion just recently in which the attorney filed an Anders brief, which is a brief in which the attorney verifies to the Court of Appeals that they have scoured the entire record and have found no valid point in which to appeal. They file an Anders brief, and the previous law was that at that point the attorney requests a motion to be allowed to withdraw from the case, and that ends their representation. With this new ruling, in this recent opinion that we received just weeks ago, the appeal was granted. We find the Anders brief is proper. There is no legal reason to overturn this opinion. However, your motion to withdraw is denied because you now have a duty to file a review to the Supreme Court if the client so desires. I will let you know that I do review each and every attorney's invoice that comes to me. If an attorney charges an hour for a review and a home study, that is slashed. If they've billed for excessive time, although the attorney is doing excellent work, we just can't afford to pay that amount of money. So those invoices are reduced, and I do not approve all of the expenditures that the attorneys submit. All of that being said, I have determined, in my best estimate, that $1,500 for professional services, that includes mediators. And these mediators, to be quite honest, are doing these at a very reduced fee for us. Court-appointed fees, of course, is just our biggest expenditure. And I included the professional services, $1,500, court-appointed attorneys, $50,000. I determined that by taking into account 3/4 of the current fiscal year budget, which we have spent, and added an additional 25%. And then our current budget right now has a $4,800 deficit on attorney's fees. Court reporters, an additional $300, transcripts for the court reporters, $1,100, and those are for any appeals that might be filed, telephone, $365. In my initial estimate, I had failed to include that we have a jury trial set next month. Those are very few and far between. Unfortunately, when we get 3 and 4 attorneys in a trial, I did add an additional $12,000. That's $72,913.48.
So your new total is 72, not
913, yes, sir.
60.9. Okay?
I'd
Make
like
a
to point
motion,
out-
we
Oh, go ahead.
just round it off, go to $73,000 from contingency. Is that where we need to come from
Yeah. Okay.
for Judge Chavez' request?
We have a motion.
Second.
Okay, and a second, but you had a comment, Randy.
No, I was going to make a comment about Jimmy and I don't charge for our time. and I'm the one that's going to be involved in that jury trial. Thank you very much.
Well, we probably should vote. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor say.
Aye.
Any opposed say aye. There are none? There
Thank you
go,
very much for your
Judge.
time.
Thank you. Appreciate your work.
Thank you.
Glad we got somebody doing that for those kids. Item 5, discuss take action on donation from Janine Morales, and we didn't hear back from her, so we'll reschedule this again. And short and sweet, Ms. Morales has watercolor paintings, originals, of all the county courthouses, and they're framed, and they're beautiful. And somebody made a comment to her, and she called and said, why don't I just have a set made for the county and give them to you? So that's what that's about, and we will do that when she's able to attend. And she also sent, when she sent those pictures, she makes note cards with all the courthouses, and they are very accurate and well done. So anyway, if any of you know her, we have been using the number she called me on, and as of yet, we're unable to make contact back. So that's what that is. Item 6, discuss take action on Westlaw and LexisNexis agreement for law library and district courts. Mr. T.
Judge, Commissioners, during the budget process, the district judges have decided they want to transition from LexisNexis to Westlaw. And so we have received that agreement and quote. Mr. Malm has reviewed it, and pending, I think a couple of the judges haven't seen it. I know I got a call from Judge Leonard, and she hadn't had a chance to review it yet. So we would just ask that pending all of the district judges' approval of that agreement, that we move forward with that. We'll be phasing out LexisNexis and going to Westlaw.
Is it about the same money, John?
Judge, honestly, I don't know. We could find that out and get that for you, but I didn't look at the numbers. I just forwarded on the
Because everything I've
agreement.
got just talks about the change, but no numbers.
Yes, sir. Do you remember, Mr. Malm? I didn't.
Okay?
I see it's $311 a month on this new one, but I don't know what the old one is.
We can get that for y'all.
Okay, thank you.
Which is at 311.
It's kind of, Judge Satterwhite seemed to indicate that it was
It's estimated
comparable.
$311 a month for 12 months.
Bet Veronica can tell.
Okay, so is there a motion to approve this pending?
I'm sorry, before we continue, Judge, and it's a 36-month minimum term, is that right?
3 years.
3 years? Okay, just want to make sure.
We got
Thank you.
We can get out of, excuse me, we can get out of it if necessary.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to, he's asking for a motion to approve it conditional on the judges.
The district judges, yes, sir.
I'd make the motion that we approve this conditionally.
Okay.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign, motion passes. John, if there's a material difference in the cost, would you please bring that back?
Yes,
to
sir.
the court?
Will do.
All right. Item 7, acknowledge Midland County Public Library's accreditation for state fiscal year beginning September 1st, 2016.
We received word back from Austin that Midland County Public Libraries did meet all the parameters for accreditation for the next year, so that's just for y'all's acknowledgement.
Okay. Is there a motion to acknowledge?
Motion to acknowledge?
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign, motion passes. While we're talking about libraries, what is the Eric Carl exhibit doing?
For the month of June, about 24,000 people came through the Centennial Library and saw the Eric Carle exhibit, so that's pretty good. Up from last year. Very solid. More than 1,000 people a day through that library.
And how's the mobile library doing?
It's doing really well. The summer's a little more difficult just because people's schedules changes and we can't do those afternoon visits from 1 to 3 just because people cook. But, we've gone to Greater Ideal, which we don't do during the school year, and dropped some that we do during the school year because the kids are doing other things. So that flexibility is nice, and we hear nothing but positive comments, especially places like Aphasia Center, which I think they spoke on a couple of courts ago. Really enjoy that. Manor Park,
Yeah,
Boys and Girls Club.
The seniors call a lot, and they like it, so
That's good.
good work.
And we have over 2,500 kids registered for summer reading, which is an increase over last year as well.
Good. Number 8, discuss, take action on library donations.
It's
John?
pretty lengthy. I would like, just for the record, to recognize Eddie and Patricia Price. They donated a very large collection of DVDs, of which over 400 were accepted into the collection for immediate use. So that's a very nice gift for them, from them. But the rest of that is in backup, just material, no monetary.
Okay. Questions of him or a motion?
Motion to accept the library donations as listed?
Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Motion passes. Thank you. Number 9, discuss and take action on use of horseshoe for extension office. Oh, Ms. Courtney.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So recently, the Midland County 4-H program and Extension put together a leadership advisory board, which Commissioner Donnelly does serve on. We met on June 27th to go over the possibility of presenting an agriculture literacy day for Midland County. For starting with Midland ISD. And we would like to book the Horseshoe August 3rd through the 6th, the Livestock Building or the Arena, either one. For the Agriculture Literacy Day, we will have exhibits such as mobile dairy. We will have the Texas Farm Bureau people down here presenting on cotton, and the Kids, Cows, and More for curds and whey, and different aspects of the agriculture industry. And that was something that was seen last year with the Texas Community Futures Forum that was really needed in Midland. So that's what we decided to do.
Have you spoken to Mr. Dooley about those dates?
I have talked to the person at the front desk, but I have not talked to Mike yet, no.
Okay.
And that's available.
But it is available,
Okay. And so you're asking for?
the educational discount.
Right, but you're asking for which building
Oh,
for purposes of?
the Livestock Building should be fine.
Okay. And you're asking us to do it under the marketing program that we do with the sheriff's office and others?
Yes.
Where we pay Mr. Dooley's fee and we grant the use of the building, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to do that.
Okay.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. And have y'all followed up on the conversation we had about creating podcasts?
Yes, we have, Candace, Jeff, and I actually have a meeting this week to start putting those together.
Okay. And maybe extend it over into what you're talking about doing at the Horseshoe?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 10, discuss take action on May monthly collection report for the tax office. Ms. Hood,
Good morning.
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 You should have all that information in front of you, as well as a comparison to 2015 collections. I would be glad to answer any questions you may have about it.
Thank you.
Questions?
Motion to acknowledge.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you,
And Karen,
gentlemen.
how did your course go?
My course went very well. I was very excited after a couple of years of trying to bring some accredited classes for tax assessors. We have a great need for that in our surrounding areas for different counties that are closer to us. We normally would have to travel to Conroe or Kerrville or somewhere like that for our classes. So finally got our first class here in Midland, and we had about 14 people that took it, and was very successful, and I'm hoping to be able to bring some more to Midland County.
Karen, can you explain what DMV did on their change of?
Well, it's really kind of complicated. I don't have all that information right in front of me, but bottom line is we're not going to be affected as much by it. We will see a small decrease in the percentages of fees in which we take in. My understanding is that mostly people who have substations and they're paying other people to do their motor vehicle for them, their fee, that was the biggest change in the fee changes. Of course, that's not going to affect us, but I mean, it's just always a matter of, you know, the state mandating more of us and decreasing our fees and the state receiving that. So, yeah. I don't think we'll see a huge change. We will see some. Just chiseling away.
It directly affects the
Thanks.
road and bridge money.
Yes, it did.
Did we vote on the tax office? Yeah. We acknowledged it. Okay. You had the second, Louise did it? Okay. Number 11, discuss take action on out-of-state travel for 3 employees from the auditor's office to attend the 2016 New World User Conference, Phoenix, Arizona, on October 2nd through 4th, 2016. And those of us that have played with the budget so far, I must say New World's
It was really nice for
Been
budget
helpful.
purposes, definitely. And it's just approval for myself, Valerie Brady, and Stephanie Martinez to attend this conference.
okay.
Motion to approve?
Thank you.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. Item 12, discuss take action on fiscal year 2016 Emergency Management Performance Grant, Award. Mr. Little.
This is the grant that y'all approved for us to go out for the first of this fiscal year. And this year, the grant award will be for $51,057.88. And that's the one we share 50-50 with the city of Midland. Each year it goes down. Each year the state, like y'all know, asks for more and more work out of it, but more paperwork, but the grant goes down each year.
Leave the money alone, except they take more of the money. Okay.
Motion to acknowledge and to accept.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
13, discuss take action on Midland Sheriff's Office monthly fees.
Good morning.
Ed?
By statute, as required by statute, if you could please acknowledge the fees that have been submitted.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 14, discuss take action on donation, Midland County Sheriff's Office DARE donation fund in the amount of $3,000 from Monarch Calendar and Printing.
Yes, sir, this was a company that produced the DARE calendar for this year, and they gave us $3,000 to put into the budget of our DARE program here at Midland County.
Yeah. Where are they located? Do you know?
I wish I could tell you, sir.
They're not.
It looks like they're out of New Market, Tennessee.
Yeah, they're not local.
No, sir.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Need a motion to acknowledge. We've done that.
Motion to acknowledge.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes, and you will send them a note that
Yes, sir.
we thank
Yes,
for it. Okay. Number 15, pretty special item. Acknowledge the presentation to the State of Texas resolution for Sergeant Michael Joe Naylor, Sergeant Chris Hoban, the Midland County Sheriff's Office.
Yes, sir. Every year, the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement presents their achievement awards, and these awards are submitted by law enforcement agencies all across the state of Texas. They come in two categories, public service awards and then Medal of Valor. This year, there were 15 recipients that were recognized. Midland County had two of those recipients. Sergeant Mike Naylor was presented the Medal of Valor posthumously, and Sergeant Chris Hoban was also presented the Medal of Valor. If you would give us the honor and read those resolutions for us, appreciate it.
You bet. And we have three of them. And
Would y'all like to come forward?
Chris, if you'll you have Sergeant name? You have Sergeant's name?
Sergeant Naylor.
Yeah.
Come on up here, guys.
If you don't mind us right here so we can get it on the record, we have to record it. And if you would like to turn around and see your peers, we're going to talk about you behind your back. And Commissioner Smith, if you would start, please.
Okay, this is the resolution for Sergeant Michael Joe Naylor. Whereas Sergeant Michael Joe Naylor of the Midland County Sheriff's Department is being posthumously recognized by the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement with its 2015 State of Texas Law Enforcement Achievement Award for Valor. And whereas on October 9th, 2014, Sergeant Naylor was part of a law enforcement team that was attempting to arrest a man who was wanted for the sexual abuse of a child. When the suspect refused to come out of his home, Sergeant Naylor, an expert negotiator, began to talk to the man through a broken window. Hoping to persuade him to surrender, the officer lost his life when the suspect unexpectedly opened fire. And whereas Before becoming a police officer, Mike Naylor served this nation for 26 years as a member of the U.S. Air Force, attaining the rank of Senior Master Sergeant and serving during Operation Iraqi Freedom, a 13-year veteran of the Midland County Sheriff's Department. He was a supervisor of the Crisis Response Unit, commander of the Honor Guard, and a trooper with the Mounted Patrol. And whereas in the final moments of his life, Sergeant Naylor demonstrated the courage, decisiveness, and dedication to duty that defined his career, and is indeed fitting that this heroism be recognized with the prestigious honor. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Sergeant Michael Joe Naylor's posthumous receipt of the 2015 State of Texas Law Enforcement Achievement Award for Valor be commemorated, and that sincere condolences be extended to his wife, Denise Naylor, and to his mother, Mary Harmon. That's signed by Tom Craddock, State Representative, District 82.
Okay. Commissioner Donnelly, you have,
I've got one for his mother.
okay, which reads the same. So if you'd like to present those.
Certainly.
Jimmy, you want to? And the other one we have is a resolution, State of Texas, signed by Representative Craddock and approved in the annals of the State of Texas, whereas Sergeant Chris Hoban of Midland County Sheriff's Office has been named the recipient of the 2015 State of Texas Law Enforcement Achievement Award for Valor by the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. And whereas on October 3rd, 2015, Sergeant Hoban responded to a call involving two men who were attempting to steal alcohol from a convenience store. Investigating the scene, the sergeant spotted one of the suspects hiding in a nearby field. When he confronted the suspect, the man pulled out a gun and began shooting. Taking cover behind his vehicle, Sergeant Hoban returned fire, and through the sustained lacerations from the shattered glass. He succeeded in incapacitating the suspect and securing the scene until reinforcements arrived. The other suspect was also apprehended and found to be armed. Both men were charged with attempted capital murder. And whereas Sergeant Hoban joined the Sheriff's Office as a reserve officer in 1992, 5 years later he became a peace officer, has earned certifications and a Master's Peace Officer, and completed more than 1,500 hours of specialized training. Over the course of his distinguished career, he has received 10 letters of commendation, as well as the 1997 Midland Crime Stoppers Officer of the Year Award and the 2007 MSCO Medal of Valor. And whereas admired for his courage and professionalism and unyielding dedication to duty, Chris Hoban exemplifies the highest standards of his vocation, and he is indeed deserving of this prestigious recognition now. Therefore, be it resolved that Sergeant Chris Hoban be congratulated on his recipient as the recipient of a 2015 State of Texas Law Enforcement Achievement Award for Valor for the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, and that he be extended sincere best wishes for continued success in his important work. Chris.
Can we get a group picture? Come on up here.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we appreciate each and every one of them. There is a motion to acknowledge, I'm assuming.
Motion to acknowledge.
Second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. Item 16, discuss take action on purchase of electrical work at the Horseshoe. That is, go ahead, Christie.
This is not a budgeted item, however, facilities does have the money to pay for the service. This is to reroute the primary service to the pavilion, and we have a quote from D&E for $29,090.
And to explain what happened when that pavilion was being built, and we showed the routing for the easement for the main service electrical, the contractor, for whatever reason, just ran it straight across another direction, and that put it directly under another building. So this is to move it.
Motion to purchase electrical work at the Horseshoe.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion approved. 17, discuss take action on purchase portable wireless microphone system for the Horseshoe. This is actually replacing it, isn't it, Tim?
An outdated system. This is a budgeted item, and this will be used in all areas of the Horseshoe, the arena, the pavilion, and the amphitheater.
Okay.
We have a quote from Fisco for the amount of $12,627.20.
Okay, budgeted item. All right.
I would make the motion that we purchase the portable wireless mic.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 18, discuss and take action on purchase of air conditioning unit for stage area for the Horseshoe Amphitheater.
This-
And Tim, we're correct. This is a change. Originally, we were going to reroute some of that ducking, and the cost became more advantageous to buy the unit than to
Yes, sir.
reroute.
After visiting with Bosworth and studying the situation, we had originally, when we built the pavilion and had the outside stage, we were going to just reroute some ducting from inside to dump air on the stage on the outside when we needed it. After studying it with Bosworth in great length, it was determined that it wouldn't work as well as they had originally thought, and we would have to run one of the great big chillers to air condition a very small area. It would be much more cost effective to put its own, it's a 25-ton air conditioner for just the stage area for the amphitheater. That way it can run independent of the other building, because if we don't have anything going on in the other building, then we'd have to air condition that entire building just to dump air out there.
Okay. All right. Heard the explanation.
And it is a budgeted item, right?
Correct.
I'd make the motion that we purchase the air conditioning unit for the stage area of the Horseshoe Amphitheater.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 19, discuss take action on the purchase of television and cable for Horseshoe Green Rooms and change rooms. This is an item we held off on until we started seeing how it was going to be used, and now this is the answer for how it's being used.
Yes, sir. The Horseshoe is requesting to purchase televisions and cable for the green rooms and the changing rooms. And it's 2 televisions, one for the green room, one for the changing rooms.
Can you tell us the price? I don't see anything on here regarding
I
fees or...
don't have the prices with me at the moment. They are less than $5,000. One's, I think they're in the $1,000 range each.
Tim may know.
The TVs are going to be bought at Sam's, and they're both around $500 a piece. I'm not sure about the cabling.
Well, the cabling's up in the ceiling, so I guess they're just running it down the wall.
That would fall under IT as far as getting the price to run it to that area.
Okay.
Is the cable a budgeted item?
I'm sorry?
Is the cable a budgeted item?
I don't believe it is. No, they have never had cable before, so we're just requesting the court.
Okay.
Can we get more information on this item before we continue? I'd hate to vote on something that we have no prices or any information on. So I'd like to request more information on this, please.
Tim,
Yes,
would
sir.
you see if you can get Mike, let's table this and come back to it.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You bet. Item 20, discuss take action on Vigilant Solutions. This is the item that Constable Hall had asked about. There were questions raised, and I think we all got a response from the company.
Mike, I'd like to address this if I could.
Sure.
I called the three references. Well, first of all, Russell had raised a bunch of very important questions as well as other members of the court. And I believe that they responded very well to those questions. I went ahead and called the three references that were listed. And I talked with a Michael, and I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, is Skrobarczyk. He's with Guadalupe County. He's a constable. And said they've had extremely good results with the program. They started in about April the 15th, and by the time I had talked to him in the middle of, in June, they had gone from a $200,000 collection typically to $1,200,000. It had been extremely successful in that area. They were having, anyway, he highly recommended the program. I then called the Bexar County Constable, had not heard back from him yet, but he's the one that the first constable he called it to recommend them using it, so he was pleased with the program. Then I called John Morris with the city of Waxahachie. He's the marshal, he's the president of the Texas Marshal Association, and he had the same glowing recommendations. The only negative thing that I have not resolved yet for myself personally is the fact that in the case of Guadalupe County, they end up charging the person who pays the fine not only the vigilant fee, but also the collection agency, such as we have Purdue Filter, for example. So they end up paying a 50% or more than 50% fee on the program. I have a conversation initiated with Purdue, and I'm supposed to meet with Tracy Kreitz sometime soon to find out how you can differentiate whether it was generated by them or the collection by them or by Vigilant. But anyway, I'm very high on the program. The benefit, if there is such a thing, if somebody owes money to the county and they have a warrant out for their arrest, they have two things that could happen. One is they could be found someday and arrested, and they end up losing at least an entire day's worth of work, and they have to pay the fines and penalties, and they may or may not lose their job. This program, because I asked the question because it was raised by our court last time, how this would affect people with lower incomes, and it turns out it's less burdensome on somebody to pay the fine through the computer system than it is to go to jail. And so anyway, that's the research I've been able to do so far. I'm wanting us to adopt this program. However, I feel like it would be advantageous if we tried to differentiate so they don't have to pay two fees, they just pay one fee. So so my request would be for us to find out how mechanically we can separate where they only pay one fee, and that, so in my mind, I'm thinking we should table this until the next court session.
Okay, Randy, thanks for looking into this. I made a couple of calls. The individuals I spoke with generally said it's too new to them, but they hadn't had success with it. They were not negative about it. In Vigilance response since the last time we discussed this, we had a question about indemnifying them. We won't do it, and they responded absolutely not. They'll change the contract to the venue law of Midland County, Texas. But they didn't offer, unless they gave you one, Randy, they didn't offer a clear explanation of the debiting and crediting of the payment account, which we don't do now. And I'm not a fan of somebody debiting our accounts.
Michael, and the verbal response to me was that would not be a problem whatsoever. They would go with however we designed it in the contract.
Well, depending on what the court does, I'd ask you to also go to work on that if it moves further along on our agenda. But, okay, any other questions?
Yes, sir. I'd like to make a couple of comments regarding Vigilant Solutions. Regarding some of the counties who were listed here as reference, my understanding is that some of these counties had problems trying to make these collections, where in Midland County, I don't feel that that's the case. Personally, I think that we already have a department that's doing that, and they're doing a very good job. I'd have to differ with my colleague here who stated that it is less burdensome to some. It is very burdensome to many of the people of low income, Commissioner. I feel that it's an extra fee that does not need to be there. What we currently have here within Midland County is working just fine. I'd hate to imagine that we're going to start usurping the jobs of other people within Midland County, because if we start there, we may have to start looking at the Sheriff's Department and any other departments within this county who we feel are not doing a good job, when in reality their numbers show that they are doing a good job. I'd also like to request that if we look at this, next week I will not, next meeting, I won't be here. I have a National Association of Counties meeting. So I request that this be brought up when I am here in August. So if we want to look at it, that's fine, but I want to be here when it's discussed. And also, I'd like for us to have an opportunity to talk to Purdue Brandon before we continue to see the other fees. I'd hate to see having people go in there, have this collection, and not only a 50% increase, but even more than that if we don't have all of our information correct. And also to give an opportunity for those departments who will be involved with this. I've never heard a complaint from anybody in this county regarding collections. This is the first time I hear about it. So I just want to make sure that we are making the right decision. So that's just my comment. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioners, y'all have any comments?
Randy, on the fees, how much are they compared to Purdue's?
I believe theirs was 30, 25?
Theirs is 25, Purdue's is 30.
Yeah, right.
Mr. Hall, Constable Hall, you're coming.
So in essence, if Purdue is not collecting their fee, it would be about the same, give or take.
Right, and yes, that's correct.
Purdue Brandon charges 30%, where Vigilant charges 25. Part of my problem with Purdue Brandon, and I've talked to Vigilant about this also, if Purdue Brandon has the warrant in their system, whether they have done anything or not, they still charge that 30%, and I don't think that's right. You know, unless they're taking action other than putting it in their computer, I don't think it's feasibly right for them to collect any money.
Okay. Constable Hall, recognizing what you just said, then that would indicate they're contractually obligated to receive that money from the county, whether they do anything or not.
Correct.
Okay.
But that's if we're talking about this, that's something we need to address in that contract.
So that's something that would have to be changed.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, now that we have another option to look at, that needs to be an option that we need to look at.
Okay. Suggestion, I would ask Commissioner Prude and Commissioner Sanchez to continue working together and ferret out all these details and what happens with that Purdue contract, and some written language as to debiting the account. And then you have asked, I know you're going to be at that NACO meeting, so you've asked to have it brought back. Is it in August?
In August, if possible.
Okay.
That's fine.
Suitable with Commissioner Prude, gentlemen? Okay, so we'll gather some more data, and Jenny, if you'd agendize it for the first court in August, please. Okay.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you.
The one comment I want to make is that we've got a lot of people doing collections and a lot of fees being thrown around and cross collections, and discussion that I had this morning with the district clerk. We need to be clear on how, when, and where these fees are being collected. I think it's important for us not to get into a bind with so many people out there collecting that we begin a fight between agencies and departments on who gets the fee or who gets credit for the collections. That's all I have.
Okay. All right. Thank each of you. No action on that. Table till August, the first meeting in August of this year. 21, discuss take action on values program. As you know, we've spent some time in the last 2 years on values that we've adopted as a county. And that program will go into motion in September. And I think Jenny, who's spearheading it, along with the auditor and Mitzi and DA and clerk's office and several other folks, and I'm sure I left out somebody, John Fraschetti, for being a participant in it. And one of the goals is to acknowledge those employees. So I'm asking for the court approval. It'll be taken out of the sales tax side of the operation. That is, each honoree, which will be one a month, and then the annual honoree, there'll be one, be provided a bonus of the monthly ones, $300. These are gross numbers. We have to take out taxes. This has already been run by the auditor, and she's good with it. And that is, give them that award, and then $1,000 for the annual, and they can use it at their discretion. As you know, we made use of gift cards in the past under taxable scenarios, but this ultimately replaces the Employee of the Month in a much improved scenario. There's still the Rosa's gift card and some other things, but the statutes do provide for a bonus. So, I'm not asking you to pay it today, I'm just asking you to say it's okay if you agree with that, and it'll be so designated in the budget.
I'll make the motion to approve that award system.
Okay.
And I think the values program that is being promoted is very important to the county and to the citizens, and I would second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Anybody want to speak on that? I know Teresa and the auditor has seen their first live action glimpse of it, and if you haven't seen Ellie Mae's Jed Clampett online piece, you need to talk to our county clerk. It's well done. Thank you. Yes.
Just a little bit. We were out at UNT Health Science Center in Fort Worth and got to experience them. We called it really kind of like an ambush of the Employee of the Month, or the valuability of the month, as they call it. And it was great. And it was a great experience. And just in the fact of when they went in there, the employee that was being recognized was truly felt honored, you know, and so that was a very positive attitude. I think Teresa, Jenny, and I experienced that a lot of the employees were very positive. Just the environment was very positive. You could tell that there was something different about that environment, and the employees were happy to be there, happy to help you, and very positive. So it was really good.
And the couple of features about this that we find just terrific is it's not departmentalized. It's across the board. Anybody that works in the county, right? You're walking off, and I'm talking about your program.
Sorry.
And the other item about it is the second phase of it actually involves the public getting involved and telling us what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. It gives them a vehicle to give us some feedback. So good job, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And thank the court for approving that. Item 22, receive presentation on status of two-way radio system and regional and state interoperability project. This is something that we are quite curious about because it seems to be like a piece of clay. It gets molded differently every year. So.
Well, and that's, I brought you a couple things with this presentation.
Let me also, for the public record, Dwayne is doing this because Dwayne is one of, he and B. John were the designated members for the regional interoperability representing the county. B. John is retired, so Dwayne is the only remaining designee right now. Okay.
All right, a couple of things I brought you was, like you said, we've been spending a lot of money on radio systems here lately, and I keep getting asked, where are we at, what do we got? How do you turn your little thing on here?
It's on the side.
We have spent a lot of money, and we've taken a phased approach on what we've done over the years. We recently had to build the 450-foot Midland County Tower, and what I've done is kind of give you assets of what we have right now. We've built a 450-foot tower, which is where we house Midland County Sheriff's Office. We also house interoperability, part of the internet hub. And right now we've got down there, we're replacing the GTRs with this year's money, which we do appreciate, on Ops 1 and Talk. Interop, we've got an 8-call 90 that's down there. That's in a receive-only mode. It can be brought up to be able to be used if necessary. What we've done is reused a lot of the old equipment that came out, the old Quantars that came out. Those are end of life. And we still have some of those in use for major stuff.
So Quantar is going away.
Quantars are going away. They are end of life. The only thing that we can get now is parts for them, and we're very limited on our parts. The new voter system that is being installed right now, we call it a voter system. Everybody else, it's kind of a comparator system is what it is. It's not actually where people go and vote. It compares a bunch of different signals and uses the best one. We're also using it as the Midland County Internet Hub out there to be able to go to exterior sites. In the future out there, the Midland County Horseshoe Turbo site, we've been putting a temporary up for a trial. And so when that's all said and done and approved, then the Horseshoe site will go there. We're reusing the old voter equipment. If we can get it all to work again, we're going to reuse it to be able to go and use that for a different frequency for talk. That'll give our portables out there, all the officers that are out in the street, a lot more use of their portable radios because they can be in disparate areas and actually be able to talk to each other. But all that is end of life. We're just trying to reuse what we can. We're going to be reusing a lot more of our Quantars that are out there to be able to bring up more 8-tack channels and a receive only with the limitation of being able to take them into repeat when we need to. Future-wise, we're hoping this is going to be, once everything is going, one of the hub sites for the Regional Gator Project. To be able to tie stuff in. What we have now is the Permian Basin site.
Explain the Regional Gator Project.
Yeah, what we have right now is the Permian Basin Regional Planning Commission sites. And what we're trying to do within that area is also tie into what's called the Gators, the Greater Austin Travis Radio System. And what that does would give us capability of talking from our system all the way down to San Antonio, Austin, into DPS. It's in the works right now. We're hoping to have it to where if we have a disaster here, you can pick up your radio on scene and be able to report all the way into the State Operations Center. It's also, we're looking towards the future, trying to help out a little more with the Permian Basin site. Okay, the 250-foot tower that we have out there, the older tower still has Quantar equipment on at the end of life. It's operations too. That is our backup. So we're hoping to phase that in to get it replaced soon. Right now it is the turbo test site. We also have VHF interoperability at that site. It is an old end-of-life system, but it's still working. We're going to run the wheels on that thing until they fall off. It's a great system. And you're able to bring in all the VHF interoperability and take it to dispatch so that they can hear it. It is not a repeater. All it is just a receive radio, and then they can talk back out. UHF, we have interoperability there for UHF, but due to lack of parts on the Quantars, it's out of service right now. Midland County Volunteer Fire Department, we also take care of that, which is on a lease tower. The space for the lease is great. We appreciate it. It's free. Just what's housed out there, the housing for it leaks. The air conditioner is inadequate. We're going to have to find a new home for it or get a new cabinet to put it in. It is the old Quantar. It is end of life.
Okay, but the cabinet is the block hut.
Yes, the cabinet is what we would put it into to be able to house it.
Okay.
Next one is courthouse security. It's located right down the street over here. It's on a mutual aid tower site. It's in a great new cabinet. It works great. It's a Quantar though, so it's end of life. Then we have voters strategically placed around Midland County. It's basically what it does is it takes your portable signal that's out there off of 4 different spaces and figures out which one is the best signal, and then that's what goes into the repeater. Without it, we would have no portable coverage out in the county. It's a huge officer safety issue. They're located at mutual aid sites. All the new stuff is there. We're hoping to use the end-of-life equipment for other stuff.
Have y'all extended the coverage to the southern part of the county?
That's one thing we're trying to do. With moving the tower where we did, the 450 tower, we're getting better coverage mobile-wise. Portable-wise, we're trying to find a spot to put another voter down there. And it's very hard to do because of lack of towers or lack of free space that we can get, because people are wanting premium dollar for space right now. If we do find space, then it's connectivity to be able to try and get it back in here, because we have to be able to put it on internet to get it back here. Yeah. Horseshoe turbo system, currently it's in the trial phase. In the future, we hope to have it up and going. We are getting great reviews from the Horseshoe staff, great reviews from IT. They've actually borrowed a few of the radios and have been doing projects throughout the county. And we've had interest from the Horseshoe IT and facilities once it's up and going. What I'm giving you here is the state interoperability module. This kind of goes in your operability now. And it explains what each level 1 through 5 are. Level 1 is as simple as we swap radios. All the way up to level 4, level 5 is we can talk on each other's systems and be able to talk. Midland County right now, we are at a level 4. We're trying to go to a level 5. We're working on that. It's just going to take some time to get there. We've been at a level 4 for quite a while. So where are we locally? You've spent a lot of money on these 2 types of radios right here, the portable Apex and the mobile Apex, and that increased our capability of interoperability threefold, because now we were on a VHF system, which is 1 frequency. We are now able to do 700 and 800 along with that, so we picked up 2 modes, 2 more modes of interoperability, so that we can talk to each other a whole lot easier throughout the whole region.
Okay, the city is running 800, right?
City is running 800 Harris.
And we're running digitized.
Yeah, we're running 800 Motorola digital. They're running a trunking system.
Yes.
We're running a conventional system.
But those 2 systems can communicate, yes?
Interoperability channel, we can talk to them on our 800 interoperability channel.
Okay,
yes.
thank
you. These were all given out to full-time Midland County law enforcement. I know it's kind of hard to see up there. It gives us digital P25 local, we're 800 regional. Interoperability capabilities went trifold, like I said. There is a radio cache also available for the level 1 communications, to where if something happens, example on the next one here is, at least I thought there was an example on the next one. Your little deal died. Is the hospital. If we go to the hospital is working totally on a frequency that we don't have. We don't have the capability to go into UHF. They're working on UHF, so what would happen is we roll in there, and we can give out our radio to their incident commander. We can give one of our cash radios to their operations at EOC so that they can be able to talk back and forth to us. We can talk back and forth to them. Level 2, we have gateways. That is the interoperability standard for level 2 is gateways. It's kind of on the fly is level 2 is what we call on the fly. So that if something's going on, like one thing I heard this weekend, I've got a lot of friends out in Dallas and a lot of communication guys out in Dallas. And when everything went bad last Thursday, the first thing they could not do is talk between the incoming agencies. Something like this, I've got one of these in my pickup. If you've got a radio with each one of their channels, you punch it together, you're on go, it's up and that going that quick. 10 seconds, you're where you need to be. Everybody can talk. One of the guys that I know out there had one of these. He got down there as fast as he could, kicked it on before they could get everything else up and running. They were able to talk to each other. Level 3 is kind of a mid-range. You use shared channels, the statewide channels, the V calls, 8 calls, stuff like that. We have our trailer. The city has a communication vehicle. Fort Stockton's got one. Odessa, we're able to bring each other's in, but right now we can use this for local, regional, state, wherever we need to use this thing, they can bring assets into us also. But you use it for long-term events, something that's going to go on for days or hours, planned events. It gives you the way to be able to talk. No matter who's there, you can bring it in, put it in through what we call the gateways, and be able to put it back out over the interoperability channels. Level 4 takes us into the Permian Basin Regional Trunk System, which is what we're using. We have interoperability channels on the trunking system, and we're able to talk between here to, well, see, when we did the example, it was from Snyder to a mile off the border. We can talk from New Mexico all the way to Big Spring, Sweetwater. That's kind of a map of where all the towers are at right now. We're 20 counties in Texas and 2 counties in New Mexico wide right now. And we're hoping once the Gator concept goes through and everything's up and going, if it is all approved, then we're going to add 25 more counties to it, being able to talk from West Texas to South Texas, Middle Rio Grande along the border into San Antonio, Austin, in that area. Level 5, we are not at yet. Level 5, it's still working because it's everybody's system talks to everybody. And we're not able to do it yet. There's some tools that are out there that you can do it. I've got a typo up there, but there's stuff called ISSI, which is your standards, your international standards. Through these tools, you can be able to talk proprietary system to proprietary system. We're not at that capability yet. It's going to take some time to get there and take some money to get there.
You say take some time. Is it the time because of the money, or are they
Time is
mutually
because of the money.
exclusive? How much money are you talking about?
Don't know, because they haven't perfected there's a few products that are out there, but they're not real stable yet.
Okay, so you're not talking about something you'd go buy right now,
You can, but you're not going to get the good product.
okay? But do we have, heaven forbid, if we had an incident like Dallas, could local law enforcement talk to FBI,
Everybody
U.S.
gets-
Marshal?
Yes.
Can they do that now?
Yes.
Okay.
Through the interoperability channels, you can.
Okay, we can? Can the
Yes.
city do the same?
Yes. They have the interoperability channels.
Okay.
Well, the 800, do you have VHF? Y'all have 800 though, right?
We have both.
Okay, they have both.
Okay. All right.
But that's kind of in a nutshell where we're at. We are a level 4, which is great compared to, if you look at the whole state map, a lot of people are still level 2, level 3. Few regions right around us are still level 2. So, I mean, you've spent, as the court, you've spent a lot of money to get us to where we are, and I appreciate that. I know when a lot of people don't understand where we're at or what we're doing until something happens, then all of a sudden they go, oh, hey, we can do that. Well, yeah, but, you know, it's out there, and I do appreciate what you've done.
That, it looks like everyone around us is level 5.
Everyone, the rest in the COG is level 5.
Is that because of the equipment they purchased, or?
It's because they don't have 2 different types of systems in their county. We have a Harris system and we have a Motorola system.
You want to introduce Eva?
Eva Luna is dispatch, City of Midland, and Dusty, I can't remember your last name. Stratton with City of Midland. He's the radio tech.
Welcome.
There.
Nice to have you.
Wayne, you know, been working, I think, this 16 years on trying to get our coverage good just here in Midland, and that south side has been, we keep thinking we're getting it every time, we put lots of money, and then all of a sudden we still can't get it.
How far south side are we talking?
However much we need, because I know.
Right now, mobile-wise, we can talk all the way into the other counties, far south. We can go into Upton, we can go into Crane, we can go into all that.
Okay, so we don't have a problem.
But we don't have a problem as far as that. Portable-wise.
Well, I'm talking portable.
Yeah, portable-wise, we still have a problem way south. Talking
Concern that I've always had
either
is
way east, Sprayberry, we're able to get into right now. Anything down around County Road 270 south, there's a hill right there. And that hill is what starts blocking it. Once you're on the other side of that hill, it blocks the signal. And that's where we're having problems. If we could find something down around 330 to put something up, that would cover that whole area down there.
And I've just been out there, you know, when somebody's on a portable and they're out of the car, you know, it's trouble.
Yes, sir.
It's not a good way to be.
Yeah, I completely understand, and that's what keeps me up at night.
When you get, at least we have the advantage of the GPS unit, so that we can find the vehicle if the officer leaves it.
Yeah, and there is some capabilities that are out there that we've looked into to where Odessa has it right now, and I'm trying to get numbers together, but it's just it's a numbers game, to where you can take the GPS on the portable. If they hit the emergency button, it automatically starts dumping out their GPS, and you can actually watch them chasing somebody across a field. The capability is there, it's just the amount of money to be able to do it, and it's extravagant.
Find out how much that is, because you don't want to jeopardize somebody.
Yeah.
It's out
Can
chasing.
I ask, even where did y'all end up doing a tower? Did you do a new tower for your new radio system?
We have 5 of them.
Yeah.
Did you place another one on the south side?
We have one at the landfill.
The landfill?
Yeah.
We have one at the airport. We have one at Front Street. And then we have one that's north of town on 349 in the airport.
Yeah.
And then we have one that's northwest Midland.
For the record, the answer to the commissioner's question, they have one at the landfill. So,
yeah.
Because I don't know if we can pick you up on the recording or not, so.
Yeah.
No. That's all right.
Yeah, the where they've placed their towers, we're still looking further south. I mean, it's hard to find space. It's real hard. Everybody's either at a premium or you can't get connectivity down there.
Okay, the way that the landfill is configured, it's configured in a loop.
Eva, would you mind coming up so we can get you on the recording?
It's configured in a loop to where it works off of all the sites. We did coverage testing, both for mobile and portable. And we've spent like a month and a half doing that. And we're pretty confident that on the southeast side, southwest side, we have very good portable coverage, the way that the system is designed.
How far will it go southeast?
We went all the way to the Upton County line, and then we went to Glasscock.
Okay.
And the thing you got to remember too is the difference between VHF conventional and 800 trunking is the reason. With us being on conventional, we have one site. They have 5.
Thank you, Eva.
So it's.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes, but
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're going to get a call.
The hours.
Everybody up here. Dwayne, thank you
All right,
for that.
thank
Is there a motion to acknowledge that presentation, please?
motion to acknowledge.
Second?
Motion second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign, motion passes. 23, acknowledge Midland County inventory records for APX mobile and portable buildings. We did an inventory when B. John retired, and Dwayne and Christie did it, and it has been sent in, and
Correct.
this is the copy of it if somebody'd like to see it. But
Yeah, right after the lieutenant left, Christie and I went out there and we did a full inventory everywhere.
But we had
And
asked to have the court approve that. This is the one that Christie has actually signed, so we can keep inventory correct.
Would you mind
Is it
copying
good?
us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure will.
All right, I would make the motion to acknowledge the county inventory records for APX mobile and portable radios.
Okay.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. I'll put copies in your boxes.
Thanks.
Okay. Item 24, discuss take action on fleet accidents. Dwayne?
Nothing to report.
Good report, thanks. 25, discuss take action authorizing county judge to sign an agreement and release to Prosperity Bank concerning jury fund account. Mitzi?
Yes, sir. Our jury fund account, as you can imagine, runs a bazillion checks through it a month. For the first time, we had fraudulent activity on that account. We had somebody actually build company checks with their company logo, but used our routing number, our account number, and they cleared. Not a lot of money, but they cleared, which just throws up a flag. So the first document on the first item there that you have in front of you is an agreement and release that Prosperity Bank is asking us to sign. The first thing they wanted us to do, of course, was to close that account. Well, I just ordered 10,000 jury checks with that account number on there, and so I'm not really willing to do that. I know there's better ways to do it. And so I told them we weren't going to close, and they asked if we would sign this agreement and this release, and it's been through Russell and the proper language put there that I'm asking you to sign. You can read it.
Are we doing a positive pay now?
That's the next item.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And Judge, the forms that you have in front of me was the first draft, and so I have ones that now that Russell has approved for you to sign, and I can notarize for you if you need me to.
Okay.
Well, Missy, this just releases them main liability on future,
Yes, sir, on those fraudulent checks and
would we be better
future
off
ones.
seeing if we could negotiate them giving us more checks and change numbers?
$10,000 is a lot of money.
I don't know that,
10,000
Jimmy.
checks, but I mean, yeah, but I mean, for us to be liable.
Do you have somebody in your office that can do the positive pay?
Oh, yes, yeah,
You're comfortable that you can catch it?
you bet.
I think that'd be fine.
I mean, we cut, as long as we're protected, I don't care.
Yeah, well, that positive pay, they don't pay it until they're approved by the treasurer's office.
Oh, okay, I got
They
you.
put positive pay
Got you,
first and
okay.
then do the release.
I didn't understand what that was, okay.
So I would make the motion that we authorize the county judge to sign an agreement lease to Prosperity Bank concerning jury fund account.
believe, does he sign that or does Mitzi?
The judge.
Okay, second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 26, discuss take action authorizing the county judge to sign a positive pay service agreement with Prosperity Bank concerning the jury fund account, including representations authorized to confirm an exception check.
Okay, so to make sure that this never happens again, years ago, when we first went with Prosperity Bank, it is actually in our depository contract that they did have the capability to provide an item called positive pay. We've never used it before, and we've never had a lot of fraudulent activity before. Our contract states that they'll provide this service for $150 a month, which is unheard of right now, but it just stayed in the contract all these years. What happens is when we, once a week normally, we cut jury checks. It may be up to 300 of them or so. A file is built inside the system where these checks are built. We send this file to Prosperity Bank, and as checks that we've given to jurors try to clear, positive pay matches the list we've given with name, amount, account number, a check number on there. It matches it as it tries to clear the bank, and if there's any exceptions on there, check number's wrong, account number's wrong, anything like that, it sends us an exception file every morning. I have 2 ladies that are going to be designated to get on Prosperity Bank's site and check those exceptions every morning, and they can clear them or not clear them. I've also attached to this agreement the list of ladies that would, in anybody's absence, I think I've got 4 or 5 of us on there, that will be able to check that file every morning and clear exceptions or deny the exceptions.
So what happens if nobody goes in there to clear or deny anything? Does it just stay on hold?
It waits.
Okay.
She's got phone numbers and cell phone numbers and email numbers and all that for all of us, and they'll keep trying till they get one of us before they clear one. There's actually going to be very few exceptions. If you consider the fact that we've mailed out thousands and thousands of jury checks over the years, and I've had 2, I think it was 2, fraudulent checks, there's going to be very few exceptions, so I don't think it's going to be a huge burden on us at all.
Cool.
And the price is right. So the agreement authorizes the county judge to sign this positive pay service agreement with them. And then towards the back are the representatives that I have listed that I would authorize to confirm or deny a check that's an exception.
So Mitzi, in 2 or 3 or 4 months, whenever all these checks are used up, then we'll go back into their system that they normally use?
It takes a year. I order 10,000 jury checks a year, and we use them all.
But we use 300, do we use 300 a week?
Oh, it's about that. It varies.
Okay.
It varies.
Okay. I'll make the motion that we allow that we authorize the county judge to sign the positive pay agreement.
I got a new order about a month or maybe 2 now ago, and I think we're on our last batch on the old one. So we're fixing to start on the new 10,000.
Okay.
Yeah. Commissioner Pruitt has a motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 27.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take action acknowledging personnel memorandum.
It's nothing out of the ordinary today. The overtime that you see at the bottom, that overtime that you see for the district attorney's office is paid for out of their pretrial intervention. The overtime that you see at the bottom for juvenile detention is paid for with state funds.
Okay.
Motion to acknowledge.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. 28, discuss take action on budget line item transfers. Veronica? Thank you.
I do have some line item transfers to bring to your attention this morning. Line item transfer on page 9 of 23, line item transfer 6979
and it is moving money from the HR department to the judge, the DA, and the auditor's office for that travel that was done for the values program, $775. Line item transfer on page 10 of 23, 6983 is the number on that. And it is moving money out of a cell phone allowance salary line, $161, into the telephone line for the sheriff records department. Line item transfer 15 of 23, line item transfer 7086, and that is moving money in the horseshoe, decreasing the capital outlay greater than 5,000 into the less than 5,000, and there's no description other than for future purchases, so I'm not really sure what, it's $5,000.
That's, I think that's the cumulative number. We thought it was going to be from, if I'm speaking of the right one, we thought it was going to be from one vendor, it's going to be from multiple, so
Okay.
5,000.
All righty, it's moving it into the less than 5,000 category. 16 of 23, also another $5,000, decreasing the more than 5,000 into equipment and furnishings for the horseshoe. Those are all the ones I have to bring up to you this morning.
Motion to approve line item transfers.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 29, discuss take action on bills and wire transfers.
Yes, sir, I have one wire transfer this morning in the amount of $8. County Clerk's Office deposited in general pulled cash account in error. Exceptions this morning, no PO on the, they are gift cards for $150 for the Great Pedometer Step Off. Missy went to Sam's to get some of those gift cards for the awards for that Great Pedometer Step Off, and I guess she was not allowed to use the Sam's card to purchase gift cards, so she used her own credit card and purchased that. That's in the amount of $1,704.34.
Okay.
And the other is ASCO for the library in the amount of $380.11, no PO. Explanation provided says the exhibit that was delivered did not have a forklift come with it on the truck. So we had to order one for us to use to unload the exhibit from the semi. It was too short of a notice to borrow the one from the horseshoe. As we have done in the past, facilities recommended we just rent one from ASCO, but it didn't have a purchase order, so that's why I'm bringing that to your attention. Overdrive, while they did have a PO on that, the PO, we exceeded the PO by $197.83. Explanation provided indicates lowered the amount in one book line to increase the amount of ebooks. The order was processed before the line item transfer was processed. Have spoken to the department head and put procedures in place to not repeat this issue. I do have one from Safeguard, $303 for some letterhead for JP Precinct 3. Explanation provided says they agreed on the quote, they processed the order immediately, and were unaware that it was being processed, so there was no PO on that. I have one for Warren Kent for the Road and Bridge Department, indicating used equipment for more days than had originally rented. That's $1,664.44 for a rental from Warren Kent. I do have two additional bills for your consideration, those having to do with, related to payroll, and that's the payment of the Boone Chapman health and dental fees in the amount of $76,143.33, and Fairmont Specialties transplant fees in the amount of $6,740.38. We're not finished reviewing these. We just got it from the Treasurer's Office. If you would just authorize me to go ahead and make these payments on these, should be the same amount, but might vary by a few dollars.
And Veronica, I've got Bedrock Strategies, their monthly fee. It came in right after the last court, but
Okay.
it'll be too long before the next court.
Okay,
So I'd ask to add that in your bills, please.
okay.
Okay? You've heard the explanations. Are there questions or motions?
Motion to approve all the bills that were presented
Okay?
And wire transfers.
and wire transfer.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. And before we go to the next item, we had tabled 19. Tim, did you find out anything? Okay, so let's recall 19. Discuss, take action on purchase television, cable, forest, shoe, greeting rooms, changing rooms.
Takes them up to one, or you-
Okay. The 60-inch television is $628. The 55-inch is $599. And there will be 2 mounts, one for each television, and the amount of $59
Okay.
each. Also, Tim spoke with Justin, and I believe he said it's going to be about $350 for the cable installation.
Yes, he said it usually runs about between 150 and 175 a drop. So he said to figure $350 for the
Okay.
2 drops.
And as far as the monthly cost for the cable goes, it's going to range in between $85 to $105 is what I'm seeing. Right now, for the sheriff's office, we pay $83, and for emergency management, we pay $106, so.
Okay. All right, that's the explanation. Is there a discussion or a motion on 19?
Make a motion, we accept this bid for this,
Okay,
the horseshoe.
we have a motion. Is there a
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Christie. Item 30, take action on submitted application for permit to use county right-of-way utility line installation, driveway construction, mailbox construction. Precinct 1,
Got 3 to approve.
Precinct 2,
4.
Precinct 3,
2.
Precinct 4.
I have none. I'd like to motion to approve all of these.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We have 2 executive session items. I don't anticipate there'll be any action afterwards. They're Q&A. That is number 31, conduct executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071. Consult with county attorney regarding pending prospective litigation and other matters. 32, conduct executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074 to discuss personnel matters. Those are the only 2 items.
You will do 3, or 33.
All right, we've been asked for 33, conduct executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.072 to deliberate purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. Will there be possible
No.
action? Okay, these are all informative updates. So with that, if you'll excuse us, and we'll go into executive session after about a 5-minute break. Okay, we're out of executive session. My watch is 11:32. Back in open session on July 11, 2016. There is one announcement that we failed to make earlier. The next court meeting is July 26, a Tuesday, because the National Association of Counties meeting is over on the 25th, and we got to get home that night. And in fact, Louise has to stay for a board meeting. And so it's Tuesday the 26th. Please mark that, 9 a.m. Okay, is there any action from executive session?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
To adjourn?
Yes.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.